1,
2, 3, 4, 5.
And I'm 6.
And I'm Antoine Smith. What do you think the NBA boils down to? Money. How many people will be devastated if basketball doesn't have a season? I am one of them. Is it fair to the fans? I have been watching NBA basketball since I was old enough to walk. And to find out that the lockout has moved past preseason into the regular season is disturbing. As stated by the Huffington Press, NBA David Stern canceled the rest of the November game, saying that there will be not a full season under any circumstances. This move came about after labor negotiations broke down again when both sides refused to budge on how to split the revenues. Owners are insistent on a 50-50 split, while the players formally propose they get 52.5%, which leaves them about 100 million apart per year. In the previous collective bargaining agreements, the players were guaranteed 57% of the BRI, which means basic rate of interest. This agreement brought about contracts of more than $100 million over 7 years for franchise players such as Kevin Garnett, Shaquille O'Neal, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Dirk Nowitzki, and Kobe Bryant, among others. These issues that surrounded the lockout began with 1 to 2 percentage points between the owners and the players. This amounted to about 60 to 80 million in one season, or more than 500 million to $1 billion in 10 years. The owners are offering a BRI as low as 49% to 51%, but the players are sure they will never get to the 51% mark based on revenues. The 50-50 split was the offer that the NBA offered. Another issue that remains unsolved is the salary cap and the luxury tax system. The owners want the tax system that escalates for each $5 million over the luxury tax and penalize clubs that exceeded the luxury tax more than 3 times in 5 years. The union asked for less punitive taxes over smaller amounts and less years. The union is responding so strongly against the offer, BR, because they will be giving back the franchise $240 million in the first year and $1.5 in the next 6. The last issue is the fact that the owners are being bending on the deal. They're actually threatening that the deal will get worse as time goes on. The option that the players are limited, one option that has some favor is decertification. This means that the union would be dissolved and the NBA would operate on a trade organization. As stated by US Today, the certification is the option, but it's expensive and one with no promise of a favorable outcome to the players. At the stage of the lockout, the certification is risky, legal removal, and would almost ensure the lost season. Yet, if players use the certification as a threat, it could give the union some leverage and force the owners to offer a more suitable deal before the players vote. The next opinion is to set up a 50-50 split that is being offered by the league. Some owners don't like that split, but it's much better than the current BRI that they are paying for the NBA player, as stated by ESPN magazine Howard Stern. Issued a deadline for the deal. Which player argues would get it virtually impossible for them to get anywhere above 50.2% revenue? Yet, if the players do not accept the deal, Stern said the next offer will call for a 53 to 47 split in the owner's favor, along with a hard salary cap. At this point, the players will not receive their first paycheck on November 15th. And if Wednesday comes and no deal is met, the league will be forced to cancel December games. Finally, if the deal is not met by January 7th, the league will cancel the entire 2011 and 2012 basketball season. Therefore, it can be concluded that we are on the brink of losing the entire basketball season for millions of fans. The owners are asking to lower the BRI to from 57 to 52.2%, and the players are indeed set against that. They have refused to play, and the owners refuse to budge on the deal. They are actually threatening to reduce the percentage on the initial offer to 47%, which is 10% lower than the previous agreement. In many cases, when an employee is unhappy with their salary, they can find another job with any other company that is paying more competitive salaries But where else can the players play basketball and receive millions and millions of dollar salaries for 5 preseason games, 82 regular season games, and receive an additional bonus, the 19 postseason games that are played if they make it? They have the option to play overseas, but the conversation is nothing like the NBA. So they are forced to hold out and receive less or nothing, or make a deal or receive the 50.2%. Time is running out, and the fans are the ones who's really suffering, because without us, nobody has the money to fight it out. Thank you. I am Antoine Smith. Thank you for listening.